Alright, so I want to tell you the story before we start off today about what happened between me and Lauren. And I know you already know about it, but I want to share it for the listeners too, because it is really funny. So, oh, why would we do that? I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit. There we go.
Do you know right there, man?
Well, we're on. So anyway, I'm getting into the groove. Give me a second. All right, I'm getting there. I got my tea. Okay. All right. So, anyways, what ended up happening is that me and Lauren were just hanging out one night because we're on a 3-day weekend from work right now, and so we were inebriated this one night, and we were hanging out, and I was just playing a game, and she was doing stuff on her phone. That she made a weird face at me, like the triangle face that you would, with the triangle mouth, the triangle mouth that you would see on the Create a Me page if you made a Me, like on Nintendo Wii U, or the Nintendo Switch, or the DS, I guess, technically, too. You know what I'm talking about, those custom Me faces. Well, anyway, she made the perfect triangle mouth.
You notice the attitude that came out with that? It's because I kept having to tell them, oh, you could also do it on the DS, you could do it on the Switch. Do you remember you could do it on the 3DS
Yes, I got it.
And the 2DS.
Got it.
Pretty much everything since the Wii.
Can I do it on the PlayStation?
Used to.
Oh yeah, huh? They did kind of.
Yeah, they had something like that.
But they made it look more like real life people than instead of cartoonish me. Anyways, so she made the perfect triangle mouth, and I was like, you look like one of the custom default faces that you'd use to make a me character, because she did the exact look, and so because you're inebriated, she took it as a different way, and she was just like. She's like, that is so rude. Why would you say that? You're calling me ugly. And I'm like, no. I'm not calling you ugly. Like, you're making an impersonation of that face.
Yeah.
Like, you're not meaning to, but that's what you look like. Like, that'd be kind of like if I did an impersonation of Jabba the Hutt's face, like, and I looked exactly like... like, that's me making an impersonation. Like, I'm doing that on purpose. Obviously, this was on accident, but so on and so forth. And she's just like... We go back and forth a little bit, and so she comes out and she's like, that is so rude. What if I said you look like one of the minority characters? And I was like, what do you mean, one of the minority characters? And she's like, you know, one of the me characters with the darker skin. I was like, oh, so why are we minorities then? Why is that the minority one? And so, like, she's like, because you call yourself a minority. I'm like, I know, because I can call myself a minority. Like, that's the difference. And so it gets a little funnier at this point, because then it's just, I looked at her, I was like, Lauren, if you didn't mean minority, why didn't you just say Latin American? And then she, you know, mid-sentence, goes, well, you know, oh my God, did I really call you a minority? And I was like, yeah, you did. She's just like, I'm so sorry. I was like, oh man, I accidentally tapped it on like the white guilt for my wife. Like, oh shit.
It's a little too hard there.
So she started crying, and I was like, it's okay. I'm like, I know you didn't mean bad. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to joke around with you. I'm sorry. And so like she's just like, and then like falls asleep on my leg. She's like. And I was like, Lauren, and she just
oh.
So it was really cute. And so the reason I wanted to make that story known is that when you are out there dating in the dating world, as one would, really keep your options open and find somebody that you can have these type of conversations with, because looks only get you so far. Punk Rock Horror Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Cody.
And today,
I really think one of them's gonna be like, what the fuck are you trying to say there, Matt? Looks only get you so far.
Well, because I know a lot of people in dating like will really bank on peacocking with their like potential partner.
Peacocking, not pink cocking.
What did I say?
Pink cocking.
Peacocking.
So peacocking.
My bad. It's funny because like you know I just had that like all way because like I posted a lot of Valentines on Lauren's wall on her Facebook.
Yeah.
And like one of them, it was like all serial killer like horror movie type of ones.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what one it was. Oh, it was like Jason Voorhees. And it was like, I don't want to kill you, I just want to give you cuddles, kind of thing. Like, it was supposed to be a cute tongue-in-cheek one.
Yeah.
And I was like, Lauren, I'm going to make cuddles with you. Like homicide, but cuddles.
Yeah.
But instead of putting the extra I in...
Home.
But instead of I put the I in, I put the O in. So instead of saying homie, I said homo cuddles.
Homo cuddles. See, but that's how you turn it around and go, yeah, because we're Homo sapiens, Lauren.
Well, and it's funny because my friend Tony, who is gay, commented on it. And he's just like, homo cuddles. Go on. Or he's like, I'm interested. And I was like, damn it. I totally messed up.
Go on.
Continue. But today we're here to remind you to take your time with your spelling and not make the same mistakes I do. So today we are here talking about our love of women in horror. We've done this episode before in episode number 3 and episode
back at the beginning. Way at the beginning.
So if you haven't already heard that one yet, go back and check it out. It's episode 3. You cannot miss it. We actually had Erin come on. That was the first time that she even got an intro into the podcast in general.
Yeah.
So, go check that one out. But we decided to revisit it for Women in Horror Month, as you may know, to just kind of take 2 of our movies that we really love and deserve a little more attention. Now, this being said, there's a shit ton of horror movies out there with strong female protagonists and antagonists and characters in general. So it's going to be hard to really kind of touch on all of them.
Yeah.
So just because we picked 2 that might have not been in your wheelhouse, remember, this whole show is about bringing movies to your attention that we felt was horribly overlooked or horribly underappreciated, or maybe wasn't given in the right criticism that it really deserved.
Yeah.
So that is what we're doing today. With that being said, let's jump into
what we're always doing.
True.
I was like, you went into really good detail about what we do.
But now we're getting a little bit bigger, and we kind of got to make sure we're like explaining everything to people who are learning who we are for the first time.
Oh yeah, I forget. New people actually like to jump in the middle.
Exactly.
That's right. Forgot that happens.
So first things first, let's jump into something we love and hate. This is a segment where we talk about something that we love and hate in the past day, week, or month that we've taken from the world around us and are just going to give our own opinions on. This could range from everything that's big and major in politics to just something as small and adorable as our kids did. So, give you context of where we're going. Do you want to go first? I know you went first last time.
So then you go first this time.
So I can go first this time. Okay, so first thing I love is just... recently a coworker of mine actually had a talk with... she knows about the podcast. She knows that what we do and what we're all about. Yeah. And so I told her, recently we did Korean horror. And we talked about the history behind Korean horror, which if you haven't checked out yet, please do so. A lot of great information there about the history of Korean horror films and the Korean film genre in general.
Yeah.
That being said, so she was talking to me about it, and she's like, yeah, it's like, I was really happy to see Parasite win. Like, I bet you were happy too. And I was like, yeah, I really was. And then we just talked about like horror, and like I was just getting really reminded of just like how much of a renaissance horror is in right now. And it made me think of like the fact that even like Chris Rock is even attaching his name to a horror franchise in order to put his own take on it. Whatever his motive.
I'm actually excited for that.
Yeah,
I hope it's its own thing, instead of continuing the main story. I kind of hope it's like it's its own new universe.
Oh, I guarantee from the trailer, it's definitely like their perspective of the detectives.
Yeah,
dealing with what's everything going on.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. Yeah, because like it goes back. It's a callback to the second movie because that's how the second movie was. Everything on the outside was all from the detective's point of view, and then the traps were all from the people's point of view, but like the main arc of that story was all from the detectives, and that's exciting to me because I love the soft franchise.
I will say though, I will be kind of upset if they like the twist is that it's a copycat killer or something to that effect. Like, I mean, there's a way to do it right, but like I'm being way too presumptuous about Chris Rock's take on horror for the first time.
I'm excited about it. I kind of hope it's a copycat killer because then I hope it's like if they're going to tie it into the main universe, I hope the copycat killer is a survivor of Jigsaw.
Right.
So that's how all the copycat quote.
Like you could definitely see them pulling something like, "Oh my god, it was actually Jigsaw's son," or something like that.
He never died in the womb. Yeah, I could see that, but
or that effect, or maybe like he adopted a kid or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So I mean, we'll see.
I mean, he did technically all of them, all the survivors.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not out of his wheelhouse.
No.
But we'll see. But anyways, it was just really cool talking to her, talking to someone who was just, like, actually really interested in horror, who wasn't really big into it. It's just like, yeah, horror is in this huge renaissance. We've talked about this on the show. It's really amazing that it's getting a lot more reception. On one end, it makes me nervous because I don't want it to get too mainstream to where it gets just kind of dried out. But I highly doubt that'll happen with horror, just because it is still that rich of a medium. So I love that. I love that that's the thing that I love.
Yeah, I was just gonna add on to that about, like, you know, the feeling of it getting dried out and stuff like that. Think about superhero movies, like they're going on 20, like how long now? How many years?
I feel like it is 20.
Yeah, it feels
I think it came out like mid 2000s. I feel like it started out with
I can't remember.
Iron Man.
I can't remember exactly when it started, but like the early 2000s, it's 2020, and it's still the highest grossing fucking film genre.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't think horror will peter out like that if the superhero genre is staying around that long.
Right.
You know, I mean, even before Iron Man, like, the Tim Burton Batman films were held in high regard at first.
Yeah, it was definitely near the end of the
2000. Yeah, 2008. So, but, like, again, just with that, like, and how long the longevity of that's been, like, I have no doubt that horror is going to be going away anytime soon. It's been around for God knows how long.
Oh, yeah.
There's always been scary stories.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
So, the next thing I hate, though, is just kind of like, it's definitely more of a parent thing. So, like, if you're not a parent, this is probably going to fall, like, on deaf ears for you, which, I mean, I get. But, so recently at my daughter's school, they've been having an issue with kids jumping on Omegle. Well, if you don't know what Omegle is or don't remember what Omegle is that random chat site where you can just hop on and be randomly connected with a stranger around the world and have a conversation with them via video. So, although there's like good intentions as how that came to be and so on and so forth, the biggest thing behind it is that it was also a gray area for people to be creepy and for people to be, showing themselves, touching themselves, and just, even at the worst case scenario, animal cruelty.
Yeah.
And so, like, they've just recently, like, had to talk to all the kids there, and, like, the kids, I guess I can't really go, like, he said, the principal said it in an announcement, but basically, someone at my kid's school got in trouble because they got really risky things sent to them, and they were passing it around via their phone. And, like, at risk of sounding like just kind of like really kind of like a broken record, or even just like ruining all the fun, or whatever you want to say, just a cliche dad. Fucking like it just kind of works. Like, I understand why parents buy their kids phones, but I don't understand why parents buy their kids like smartphones. Like, because you're opening them up to these sites. Because parents, the fact of the matter is that the dark web is still fairly easy to access. I mean, to get to the really heinous stuff, you obviously have to go through a few jumps and rings and whatnot.
But it's not that hard.
Like you could easily go to bestgore.com right now. Like, it's really easy to find. Which, by the way, don't hold that over us. But fact of the matter is just like, it just seems like there's like no accountability. Like, on the parents' end. Like, again, I get it. Your kids need a phone, but buy them a phone that, like, I just don't understand why you can't buy your kid a phone that doesn't have to be a smartphone. Like, why can't you just get like a very basic flip phone? I know they still make them. I see them.
Yeah, but I guess it's more just that hassle of having to find that, when it's easier just to get the smartphone and then put in the parental locks. But at the same time, it's like, but you have to be able to put on those parental locks.
Well, but even to that extent, though, like, some like carriers sell very basic phones.
Oh yeah,
where you can't really surf the internet on.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying like it's not possible. It's not that hard to do. Like, it's. I mean, I agree with you. Like, I think the kids' age. Little kids don't need smartphones. They don't need to surf the internet on their phones. Like, they just need a phone for contacting if you're going to get them a phone.
Well, and like, So the principal didn't even know like some of the shit that's on Omegle.
Yeah.
And so like I told, because Lauren works over there. I told Lauren about it. I told him, you know, like there's some really heinous stuff. Like I've seen stuff of like, you know, like a baby chick being fed to a python.
Yeah.
And it was never like I never meant to see it, but that's how Omegle works, because you do a random like person and you'll just be open to the scene.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea what you're getting into. More often than not, it's usually just like dickish kids wanting to see boobs or, you know, like that kind of stuff. But there's still the risky stuff, and there's that. But I also do hate that there's people out there that are sick enough to go to that extent to get their kicks off in that way.
Yeah.
Like
there's some gross people, dude.
Like dick pic, like. Whether it is, like, some weird, desperate attempt in order to, like, get a girl. Like, I know on one end, it's definitely, like, a kink thing. Like, like there's dudes out there that love to be yelled at and just kind of, treated, beneath, you know, the boot. You know what I mean? Just, like, I know it's a thing, but without, like, picking all the hairs, I'm just saying, like, I think it's disgusting on one end, that's still a thing that we have to worry about, and just the lack of accountability on parents just kind of drives me crazy. And I'm well aware that I'm in that same field, because, I mean, if Aaron does something and I don't catch it, then it's totally my fault, too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what I love and hate. What about you?
So the thing, I'm going to start with the thing I hate, just because, like I said, I can't remember, I'm sure I touched on it a little bit on the podcast, but I can't remember if it was an actual subject I hated, but just the whole streaming stuff is just getting really ridiculous. Like, I'm sure this is why I talked about it before, but like it kind of just hit me a little bit earlier, and it just started really pissing me off, because like there's all these streaming services, and they're all like, it's like, oh, we're only charging you $5 a month or $8 a month, and it's like, but if I want to watch Rick and Morty, for instance, I have to get the HBO Max. Yeah, and that's not even. We already have already used part of one of the HBO streaming services, and that's not even the one that has the shows that I want. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's 3 different ones on there, because you need HBO Max for that, and then like I also saw that Friends is going to be being reborn on HBO Max, so all Friends is going to be put on there once it's left Netflix.
It's going to be all dark and mature.
Yeah, it's just like, I know, well, the whole cast is coming back and stuff, so that's something I love, but like, I'm super excited, but that's not the thing I love. But like, it's just so ridiculous, and it just sucks, and it's really going to be the downfall of streaming services and stuff like that, and like Netflix is already feeling it, and Netflix is starting to pump out its own like content, and it's really, really good. Like The Witcher is solid, really, really great show. I've heard good things about Lock and Key, but like when all these big name shows that are going to all these separate streaming services, that like it's just going to be so ridiculous to take control and actually watch. And then they're also doing these crazy things of like how to block sharing your streaming services and stuff like that. Like they're trying to figure that out. Like I noticed with my WWE account, if I log onto my WWE account, it automatically logs me out of whatever thing I was using before. So me and Harrison use my account on both our PlayStations. Yeah. But if I log into it on his PlayStation, it logs me out of it on mine. It's like just getting really ridiculous. Like I know these companies need to make a profit, but when it gets to like this point where it's just like everything's going to be monetized in the streaming services, that you have to have this one to watch this show, it's just going to get fucking ridiculous, and it's just already starting to see the cracks in it all. So that's the biggest thing I hate. It's like it really should just be stuck down to like 3 streaming services, and everyone just kind of bids for spots in the services. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So like, it's just that's the biggest thing that I hate, because like not a whole lot of crazy shit has happened terribly for me lately.
That's good.
That I'm willing to talk about. But yeah, I guess. Oh no, we'll see. But the thing I love is actually kind of just all the little small things that have been happening to me this entire week. So like I've had really good bonding moments with Audrey. Yeah, like the other night it was really cool. She like looked at me and she, "Daddy, I can count to 5," and she like picked up a bag with 5 Reese's cups in there. She counted 5 with them. Yeah, and that was the first time I've ever seen her do that, and it like blew my mind, because also freaking me out about how big she is, and I'm really in denial about it because she's already grown like a couple inches within a week, and I'm super in denial about how big she's getting. And so, like, knowing that, and then she's also pretty much potty trained except for sleeping. Like, when she's home, she doesn't need to wear a diaper anymore, so it's great. Like, we're just slowly weaning her into getting used to her not having a diaper going out. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's just like, no, stay little. So that's just like the thing that I love is just like all these moments that I've been having with Audrey and like things that I've noticed with Audrey this week.
Well, you definitely get used to it.
So yeah, I know. I just don't want it to happen.
I know, but that's okay.
Yeah. So I guess I love being a dad.
Oh,
I guess is what I'm saying.
We love being a dad.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Reverend Horton Heat's playing tonight at the Sunshine Studios.
Nice.
That's a shame, because I really want to be there.
I know. That'd be fun. But no. We're here. We're recording, Matt. We need this. We have to put the podcast
it's
on.
The Reverend
The
Horton
show
Heat.
must go on.
Damn. I like how great your methods, but your results are hard to just I can't handle it. You're back on the force.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I feel like you also went first last time with your movie reviews.
Yeah, so it's on you.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, get on it.
I'm trying to.
Get on it.
My computer.
I know, your computer's been such
like,
a shitter today.
It was like,
Jesus
hey,
Christ.
I know you want to do stuff. How about I make it so you can't switch between two tabs?
Here, you can use mine. It's right there.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yours is not touchscreen. I was about to be an idiot and just...
Yeah, why is this not working?
Greasy
Why?
fingers.
Yeah.
So, this one I wanted to do, because this is actually the most recent one I've seen in a while. Although it is 2 years old, coming up on March here soon. Mm-hmm. It is still a fantastic movie, and I feel like it's definitely right in what we deal with when it comes to these movies and trying to find those ones that didn't get as much love and attention as they needed from the get-go. So with that being said, I decided to do Book of Monsters, which came out in 2018, and it was directed by Stuart Spark, Paul Butler, stars Lindsay Crane, Michaela Longden, and Lindsay Erin Stanton. So the whole premise is Sophie's 18th birthday becomes a bloodbath when monsters descend upon her house and start to devour the party guests. Sophie and her friends must rally together to send their party crashers back to where they have once come from. So, flat out, right out the bat, this movie is a fantastic gore-filled ride of joy. I mean, without a doubt, it's a 5 out of 5 buckets of gore.
Yeah, this movie was bloody.
Yeah.
Really fucking bloody.
It definitely takes me back to, like the Stitches. Like, when we did Stitches, like that type of gore, of, like, them trying to have fun with it. Ideally, not ideally, ironically, with it also being in a party as well.
Yeah.
I mean, coincidentally, three strikes him out.
Yeah. Jesus.
So, they're at this. So it starts out with Sophie as a little girl in bed, and her mom, is reading her bed, and they have a great relationship. And she's just like, "Mommy, can you read me this book?" Now, this is like the one few times I'm going to do a really bad British accent because I am terrible at it. So imagine that being a lot more sophisticated.
Oh, what's
up? No, it's okay. Did you want
to? Are they British?
Yeah.
We both did a British movie.
Nice. You owe us, UK.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, are they British?
So, anyways, wakes up and she doesn't wake up yet. She's still, in bed, and her mom's reading her this book. And this book is very satanic. It's a very old-looking book. Yeah. What I mean by satanic, it has a pentagram on the front of it with I think it had the double horns in it. I don't remember.
It's not just because it's a book.
It's because it has the satanic symbol on it. And the rock and roll. I saw DMX carved into it. I knew it was bad news. Thunderstruck! You've been thunderstruck! See, the trick is that you don't move your teeth.
Oh, okay.
You gotta just move your cheeks and your mouth to impersonate him.
Okay.
I'm on the highway to hell! That's how you do it. I could easily fill in anytime, AC/DC. You let me know. Kill!
Oh my god, could you imagine if they're listening like, hey, guys, remember that one kid on the Punk Rock Horror podcast that we were listening to the other day who did a really good impression? Well, see, our singer's sick. Let's hit him up. He said he'll pose in for the album.
Oh, I'll get his whole hat and black shirt and like, you're to kill! Because he moves like that. Like, dude's cool. Like, he's cool and whatnot. But when he moves and sings, if you ever see him live, he does, like, get all frozen up, just like, shoot to kill!
Hey, if you can't make fun of something that you love, do you really love it?
I totally forgot the point I was like, oh yeah, anyway, so, beginning of the film. Anyways, coming back to it. We haven't even gotten out of the beginning. Coming back to it. So she's reading her this book, talking about, like, one day, you know, this girl will defeat the monster, stab it in the chest, yada, 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 blah. Yeah. As the scene's starting to close, the mother looks back after kissing the little girl on the head and hears noises coming from underneath her bed, goes under to see what's going on, has a knife in hand. She's like, don't worry, I'm just going to see what it is. It's not a big deal, kind of deal. Yeah. And then we are introduced to the mother being killed by what's ever under the bed. Yeah. And then Sophie wakes up. It is, you know, her 18th birthday today. She goes to school.
Eve.
Oh, yeah, it's the Eve. You're right. You're sorry. My bad. It's her party. Anyways, goes to school. And then we're introduced to her and her classmates and her friends. You know, her ride or die friends, the one who's very introverted and quiet and goth, and the one who's outspoken and redhead. You know, the typecast of, I use typecast lightly in the fact of just like a fiery redhead. Yeah. Like, that's just
bombshell.
The way. Yeah, that's just the way I kind of want to describe it. But because I also want to bring up the word typecast, is the other thing that I love about this movie, is that none of its characters are really typecasted of what you would expect in a female role, aside from the bullying. Because there is the one girl who's you know, the perfect preppy girl who's just a real big bully to Sophie.
The rich bitch.
Yeah, the rich bitch.
Of all the teen rom-coms.
And so Sophie, we find out Sophie, you know, she's lesbian, and so, like, this is a point of the bullying for her is so the other girl, you know, picks on her and bullies her, and because she's a lesbian, because she's into girls, so on and so forth. Much so to, after this point, you know, Sophie and her three friends, Mona and Beth, go to Sophie's house to celebrate her birthday, her birthday Eve. And so, next part I love here is that the dad is actually really sweet. Like, he has a very small part. Like, it's definitely... I
know. Like you attached to him so fast. You're just he's just... It's so nice to be a good dad in these movies.
Well, just because, like, these ones always have, like, the douchey parent for some reason.
Yeah, where you're like, all right, is he? Like, he's more than just "I love you, sweetie."
Yeah, like he actually has like substance to him. Like for the little time he is on screen, he does have substance. Like he actually makes like a birthday party for her, but it's like all like kind of dollar store like kid looking party stuff. Yeah, and so he's like, I heard you're turning 18. I hope you like this. I did this for you and your friends. And I was just like, aw. Like a dad that's actually nice.
Yeah, he's trying.
Like, because usually when they just write in the dad as to be to have a small role, they usually just have him do what you said. It's just like, oh, I love you, don't, you know, fucking burn the house down. Yeah. Kind of shit. But like they actually, they showed that he cares her and loves her, and I know that's definitely like a bias, but it's also just something that I noticed in a lot of horror films where the mother is always usually written in a very strong, influential role. And I just thought it was really nice that the dad was. I know that's really weird to bring in, but again, it's my review. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, party continues, movie goes on, dad exits the picture, and then all these people show up to Sophie's birthday. Yeah. And at first Sophie thought it was a total like wash, nobody was coming, and then they all show up and party ensues, and then eventually the bully, what she does is she and this is not as much as con, it's just kind of like a what the fuck kind of dealio. Yeah. But she calls a surprise to happen at this party, and as they're waiting for this surprise to happen, we're introduced all these guests. So there is the one guy that likes Sophie, but Sophie doesn't like him because of obvious reasons. Yeah. But Beth, her friend, who's the goth introvert, likes him, and then we're also introduced to this woman in this red dress, this red cocktail dress, who is definitely way older than any of the kids. Yeah. And so she's obviously a point of interest. Finds a guy at the party, takes him up these stairs till we see him in the next scene. But what happens is, and so as the party continues,
that poor guy.
Yeah, that poor guy.
Poor guy.
So party continues. As the party continues, it goes back and forth with the scenes showing her laying the guy down, getting on top of him. And so she, like, rips off his shirt and is about to rip off hers. But before this point happens, a guest appears to the party, and it's actually a male stripper for Sophie, that the bully called, knowing that Sophie is a lesbian, decided to call a male stripper to embarrass her at her own party. Her own birthday party.
Yeah.
That being said, which I will tell you right now, spoiler alert, the bully does die, and it's totally great.
She is a good.
Well, with that being said, going forward a little more, comes back to the woman in the red cocktail dress with the red hair, who's, again, person of interest. As she rips off her gown, it does that. You were actually impressed by it.
It's really funny. It's just a good transition.
Yeah, so like as she rips off, because the camera does a close up of her chest, and she rips off her clothes, and right as it does, it actually goes to the male stripper as he rips off his.
Yeah.
And so like that was really clever.
It's simultaneous, so it's like right when it's supposed to be her tits out, it's his nipples.
Yeah.
So it's his tits.
Yeah,
exactly. Like it's really good. You'll have to watch. You need to at least watch that scene. It's really good.
I agree. So what happens though at that point is, so there's two things I want to point out. So first of all, you could tell the dude wasn't like the actual like police, like the constable or whatever.
Yeah.
You could tell he wasn't, and so like it always bugged me in movies where they always fall for the guy who's obviously a stripper in stripper clothes coming to a party that they didn't order for. You know. And so I was like, how do you just not recognize that? Again, it's not really a big thing that hurts the film. It's just something that bugs me.
Yeah.
It's small. It's stupid. I get it.
It's one of those, well, yeah. No, I know what you mean. Like, he obviously, like, you could see he was wearing a sexy cop shirt.
Yeah.
Like, and, like, for her to be like, they haven't even been drinking yet. Like, she wasn't even drunk.
Right.
So it's like, come on.
It's like, you could have just told him to go away.
Yeah,
but,
come on.
Like, I didn't order you.
Yeah.
Like, anyways, so that going forward, there's also a scene where, again, this woman in the red dress is opening the guy, well, if you can tell at this point, the victim's shirt, and starts carving a pentagram into his chest. And there's two things going on. One, the dude's barely even making any noise. He's just like, kind of like whimpering.
Well, he's like getting off on it. He thinks that...
I don't think he was.
Yeah,
there was legit terror in his eyes.
I don't know. It looked like he was getting off on it.
I'm pretty sure when the pentagram was almost done, he was like, this isn't what I was planning. This isn't what I thought it was going to be.
I don't know. He looked like he might have liked it.
He was a definite.
But at the same time, if it started getting that deep, I would be like, okay, bitch.
Yeah,
like I said I liked it rough, but not, come on.
I know, he didn't push her off. Like, I get it, she's supposed to be, she's a monster in disguise.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, doesn't even try to push her off.
Yeah.
So, he kind of had it coming.
Yeah.
He could have saved everyone, but instead he decided to die like a bitch. It's because he wore a Hawaiian shirt to a party.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
It's a faux pas. Yeah. I even know that.
Yeah, that was definitely the person of like, oh, I'm not gonna get touched tonight. Can you do it, please? That's the type of person I thought he was.
That's how I won Lauren over. Those were the exact words I said to her. That's how I met. That's how
I knew when you told me the story, it was a little fishy.
Yeah, I just looked there. I was like, I haven't been touched in a while. Can you please touch me?
Baby need good.
Baby want his papa.
God. Gross.
I agree. I kind of want to end the episode after that.
It's like, and we're done.
So, with that being said, though...
sorry. I had one con for that scene, though. So, right, like the whole thing that's going on. I like that whole scene because it's kind of cool, like, especially when her, the skin started melting off and stuff. Yeah. But in that scene, the one part that bugged me was all of a sudden she had a top on, even though she ripped her dress off,
Yeah.
Like in the scene before, and it did the whole transition thing. And then it goes back to that scene with her on top of the guy, the virgin, and she has clothes on again. I was just like, what?
I think it was...
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that was misediting.
I think I know what you're talking about. I thought it was just because that she never took off the dress fully, and it was just, like, hanging.
Well, she ripped it, though. Ripped it open.
That
was the whole joke.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like, it should have been... I get
then she wasn't topless. She was fully clothed in the following thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, that's my con. I think it was just an editing error.
No worries.
But anyways,
coming back to it. So, at this point, monsters start appearing at the party, and we're introduced with the one Irish dude that shows up. He's just like, oh, crikey. Well, not crikey. Irish dude.
Crikey? That's Australian.
Oh, Shamrock!
Is it because we were talking about the Australian movie
I think
we were
it
going to
was.
do for this?
I think
and
it
then
was.
Again, we decided not to do that movie. Like, we have to do that
The
movie.
opportunity will come. We'll know
We had it twice, and we both nicked it.
We will know it.
We both nicked it this time. Like, we both looked at it.
But we mentioned it. But we mentioned it in Monday's episode.
That's true.
So, that being said, coming back to this movie
Yes, I know.
So the monsters look pretty great. They're actually, it's practical effects all around are really good.
Yeah.
There are some really spots that are very iffy. Effects. Like there's one scene where like the dude that is brought to the party by the bully girl, he gets killed, his head gets lopped off, and when she picks up the head later on to try to, like, I don't know, reminisce about how he died or whatever. It's a weird scene.
He had good tongue game.
You could tell it was actually a mannequin head, and it was, they were trying to do the shot where it was above the forehead, so you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
But she moves the head up,
you can see the nose and the eyes.
See the
it's
eye.
terrible.
Yeah. So that being said, there are some misses for the practical effects. Overall, though, it is
the
still
monsters
really
are good though. I would say the monster effects are great.
It's definitely nothing that you haven't seen before with the monsters, at least for a couple of them.
Yeah.
The intro monster that you're used to is like a mixture between like the monsters from what is it, The Village and Feast.
I was gonna say Feast. I just think of Feast like before they tear their shed.
Exactly. Before they tear off their whole cloak and whatnot. Yeah, so it looks like that. So it's nothing like too like jumps at you right away. But as the movie progresses, we get introduced to better, cooler looking monsters. The main bad mojo of a dude is definitely unique in itself, and so I like that. And so there's practical effects throughout this entire film. There's no CG at all, and so I will always give a movie, even if it's not the greatest practical effects, but it still has that love and that passion behind it.
Yeah.
That it still makes it a fantastic looking movie.
Wow.
Hold on.
Wow.
I'm a monster.
This dick.
That being said, with that leads to the passion of this film. There's definite love and passion behind it. Actually, matter of fact, recently, even on our Twitter, we shouted out this movie. I don't remember. I think it was a retweet, but we shouted out, and they're still loving this movie. They're still supporting this movie. Book of Monsters is still getting a lot of support, and you can still see that love in the film. Because there is definite like enjoyment, fun in this whole project. And this was actually a starting project for a lot of the actors, too. And actresses as well. And coming back to the movie, though, and what's so great about this is that every female in her own role stands out in a different way. Whether it is the Beth, who is the goth introvert, coming out of her shell to be more of the outspoken one, kind of standing up for herself a little bit better. Or it's Sophie being more confident with who she is.
Yeah.
You know, and being...
Yeah, I liked her story.
Yeah.
She had her character arc was, like, smooth in this movie, which isn't, like... It's a little weird saying that, especially for a 90-minute movie, but, like, it felt good. It was well-paced.
Yeah.
You know, her character didn't feel rushed when she became a badass. You know? Like, it made sense.
Like, so, with that being said... what I love about it is just that all the female characters in this movie kind of switched roles and put the guys in those like typecasted roles that we expected from. So, like, for example, there's a scene where like Gary, who's walking with
Greg.
Is it Greg or Gary?
Dude, I don't.
I'm
still don't know.
I'm pretty positive it's.
Let's just go with Gregory.
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 Because
I swear I heard both ones.
So Gregory is walking with them. Gregory is walking with them. As they're trying to find their way through the house, and he's just like, I have to pee. And it's just like, a really funny scene because not only is just not nowhere, but normally like in like these type of gory slasher or any type of horror movie, you normally see the girl saying like, "I have to pee," and kind of like going to set herself up for
like, oh, of course, the girl would have to pee.
But like it flips a lot of like expected gender roles on its head, and I love that for it. So like on one hand, it's this great like passionate movie of like why female characters still need to be appreciated in horror and like the potential they can have and the potential that this movie shows with them. Obviously this has been done before, but to still have people come back to it and be like, nah dog, let's have fucking like just these girls just fucking these monsters up with a chainsaw, fire axe, and a saber at the same time. Like you gotta kind of love it. Like because there's a definite love and passion there. When in doubt, Book of Monsters is probably one of the coolest, most underappreciated gory films I have ever seen in a long time. There's love behind this movie, and it is definitely to your disservice if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
I mean, like I said, the practical effects can be a little weak here and there, and so at that point, you got to kind of take it for what it is. But overall, don't let that harpen the whole experience, because this movie is a fun ride. Without a doubt. Everybody in the roles are great. Everybody is awesome in this movie, and it just deserves a lot more love. If you want to check it out now, you can get it on Amazon Prime for $3.99, Google Play, Vudu, and YouTube for $3.99. It is also free on, I think it's free on Tubi. I feel like it's free on Tubi right now. But if you have the monthly or yearly subscription to Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free also. So that being said, jump into a few interesting facts about the film itself.
I want to read the first one because I thought it was cool.
Well, do you want to give your input about the movie? What you thought about it?
Oh, I thought it was great. The gore was fantastic, and like. So the kills were great because they're really funny. Like I still think my favorite one is when this kid walks in and goes, "Who's ready to party?" and then she gets ripped in half right away afterwards, and everyone's just like, "Ah!" It was just really fucking great because it happened so fast.
And then when the bully girl, like it's not much of a spoiler because you're gonna enjoy it anyways.
No, let that. They need to feel that.
I gotta touch on.
They have to feel it.
There's got to be a kill I can touch on though.
But not that one.
But like, okay, so maybe the guy that I feel like you already did the dude that got ripped in half.
Yeah, I literally just said that.
Now I don't want to touch on all the other ones because my favorite.
The cops.
Yeah, okay.
That was fucking funny.
The cops was funny.
That was funny as shit.
That cops was funny. So like these cops pull up to the house where all the monsters are killing everybody, right?
Yeah, and so everyone's all like, the cops are here.
And they're
watching and so, like, all this from the window is the best part.
And so, like, if me and you were cops in a film, I'm pretty sure it would go this exact route. I'm just like, dude, it's this house.
Oh my god.
What's wrong with this?
Kids.
Like, what's wrong with this house? Oh, dude, there was a murder at this house, a homicide. The wife was chopped up.
Yeah.
Like, when the husband came home and found her, it was just terrifying. They say it wasn't actually a person. It was a monster! And that is more so kind of the dialogue they have, but it actually is a lot funnier in the movie. But that being said, like, just like, one of the cops gets, like, fucked up and killed, and then the buddy cop is just like, oh my god!
He's just screaming like a little girl in the car. He's just,
like, there's definite love behind it.
Yeah. Oh, no, the whole thing is great. Because, and so this is, like, pointing out the love, and this is part of the reason. So during the film's crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter, backers were able to vote on the design of each monster, and the winning choices were used in the movie. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Adding on to that, as part of the film's crowdfunding campaign prior to the production, the identity of Carl, played by Aaron Dennis, was decided by a vote. Backers of the campaign had the choice of making the character either a pizza delivery guy, neighbor, police officer, religious preacher, door-to-door salesman, or strippergram, with the latter being the winning choice. And the scene where the police car, the exact one they were talking about, arrives at the house was a late addition to the script and was shot 6 months after principal photography ended. Due to cast availability, writer Paul Butler took on the role of the slasher monster.
The chainsaw prop used by Sophie was non-functional and lacked a start cord. This is great. Whenever actor Lindsay Crane pulls on the cord to start the chainsaw, she's actually miming the action. Sound design and visual effects were used to make it seem like the blade is spinning. So in the movie, you can see it's going...
Because the film was shot out of sync, multiple versions of the same pink dress had to be made for actress Lindsay Crane, with various stages of blood and gore applied. Great care had to be taken during the filming of the initial monster attack to ensure that the fake blood sprayed on the dress matched what already had been seen in later scenes, which had already been shot.
Nice.
So, damn.
Yeah. That's dedication, man.
Well,
good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him.
So, check out Book of Monsters today.
Yeah, you should. All right. Ready for my movie?
Do it.
My hop, skip, and a jump, and ankle-clacking movie. I'm sorry for that.
It's okay. I forgive you.
No, actually, I was really excited about my movie. So, I was struggling with which one to pick, and I was also kind of like struggling this week of just like being down and out. And I honestly really wanted to watch something a little uplifting, and I was scrolling through Hulu, and I saw the title of this movie, and I was like, oh my god, I remember hearing about this, and I was like, and it's a musical. Oh, what wouldn't have to be like uplifting of a horror musical? So I decided to do Anna and the Apocalypse, and it came out in 2017. The synopsis is: a zombie apocalypse threatens the sleepy town of Little Haven at Christmas, forcing Anna and her friends to fight, slash, and sing their way to survival, facing the undead in a desperate race to reach their loved ones. But they soon discover that no one is safe in this new world, and with civilization falling apart around them, the only people they can truly rely on are each other. That is a straight-up musical synopsis. Again, the power of friendship.
IMDb, man.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think it's a good one. But
I know, it's
just really funny because that was a really long one. Then we have like our other two movies last week that have 2 sentences.
I know, just like...
Then this week it's a full paragraph.
They really fucked up the host.
Yeah, they did.
It was like, and find her. Find who? You bitch.
Who?
Goddamn.
It was directed by John McPhail. It was written by Alan McDonald and Ryan McHenry. It stars Ella Hunt, Malcolm Cumming, and Sarah Swire. And so I remember hearing about this movie, and I was really excited. I really wanted to watch it, but like, as much as I do like musicals, I do have to be in a certain mindset, and so I decided to pick this one. And oh my god, I was so happy about this film. It was super good. The blood, 5 out of 5. Buckets of gore, top notch.
Nice,
top notch. Like, okay, so there's this one scene where they first find when Anna and Joseph find out. I think it's Joseph. I don't know. Her best friend, her BFF. He has such a huge. It's like the one.
John.
John. There we go. John has a crush on her, and like she kind of has a crush on him, but she doesn't really know. Like it's one of those things. Like he's her BFF. She can't lose him.
It's like
it's that whole thing. Like.
What you would expect in a musical.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, in a musical, and like her boyfriend was the douchebag that spilled the beans when they first had sex, and they like broke her heart. But, anyways, like it's all stereotypical high school musical characters. They're all in there. Then but the thing that I like is like they throw in the one like my favorite character is the lesbian. She's fantastic. She's great. I feel for her, and she's
Steph.
Awesome. Yeah, Steph. Her character is just great in this movie. But anyway, but the blood is so like when they first find a zombie, Anna just hits its head with a fucking
shovel?
No, fucking teeter-totter. Seesaw.
Okay.
She hits it with a seesaw, and its head just rockets into the air, and it just gushes blood out. And John's just like
catapults.
And John just goes, the fuck? Like, and he just looks at Anna. He's like, that's a zombie when they're pointing at the head, and she's like, no, it's not. Zombies aren't real. He's like, what the fuck do you think that is? And you just see its head on the ground. It's going, and it was dressed as and the zombie was dressed as Frosty the Snowman. So was the snowman coming at him, trying to eat him. It was great. Anyway, so it starts off, like Anna and her dad get in this argument because her mom's dead too. Our films are very similar with our. Through some things.
We should totally start a podcast.
I know, right? It's like we have the same thought. But yeah, so their mom died, and then like the mom, Anna and the dad are fighting about it because she doesn't want to go to university.
Yeah.
She wants to travel. She said she wants to go to Australia for a year. and travel and stuff like that before she goes to university. And the dad's like, fuck you, no you're not, you dumb bitch. Like, he actually like gets super pissed off and calls her an idiot and is like, your mom would be disgusted by you right now. Like, you need to go get your education, why are you throwing this away, like, type thing. But, you know, he's doing it because he's the janitor of the school and he only wants her to have a better life, you know, a better life than he has. So it's like that whole dynamic. But there's some really great comedy in it too. And the reason why I say that is because the first song is really good and it like makes you feel like that's how you start feeling for all the characters, because they all kind of the three main characters, they kind of describe like what their deal is. Like, Anna doesn't want to do school, she kind of wants to like she wants to find herself because she, you know, like her mom wanted her to also. And then John's talking about how he's in love with Anna, but he can't like it's hard for him to be the hero that she wants because she likes the bad boys, because obviously her ex-boyfriend's the douchebag popular guy. And then the lesbian's talking about how she's alone because her girlfriend's not there and her parents are spending Christmas in Mexico and she has no one. So you like get to know everybody, and it's like talking about how nothing has a Hollywood ending. You know, that's the name of the song. And then it leads into the next song when they're all like, fuck this, we're gonna kick into high gear, gang. You know, like they're doing that shit. And it's really funny because like on the drive to school before the first song happens, like the dad's listening to the radio and it's talking about how there's a zombie outbreak happening. Everyone, the dead is and then Anna turns off the radio. Like it says exactly, kind of like the beginning of Shaun of the Dead when they're watching the TV. And it's saying, like, there's a zombie outbreak, but then they switch to video games instead. Like, that's what happens. And then the second song happens, and it's all, like, kicking into high gear. They're like, we're going to do it our way. We're going to have a great day. I found myself. So Anna, John are dancing and singing about how, John's singing about how he's finally going to tell Anna how he feels. And Anna's talking about how she's going to, she's going to travel and, like, find her own way through life. Everyone's being massacred in the background by zombies. There's a baby being eaten at one part. And there's, like, people being eaten in the background fighting zombies. And Anna's skipping and dancing. It's really fucking funny. Because, like, it's, like, again, like, from Shaun of the Dead, like, they called this the Shaun of the Dead of musicals. Yeah. And there's some similarities because, like, in Shaun of the Dead, when you first see the zombie apocalypse, like, Shaun's doing his daily routine and everything's happening in the background. Same thing here.
Gets a soda from the shop.
Yeah, and same thing's happening here. Like, there's people dying in the background and Anna's dancing and kicking. Like, it's just so great. And that's when they find the frosty zombie and they kill it. And, like, but then, like, that's when shit hits the fan. They realize everything's going on. And so, like, all the songs in this movie, all the songs have happy tones, but the lyrics or the chaos happening around it is like the undertone of this entire movie. So what's really great is this movie's kind of like, it makes you feel uplifting, but everything's just terrible. Right. Like if you like the first song, it's all happy like that, kind of like trying to get myself kicked into high gear type first song type thing, and they're like, you know, here's my issues. I'm going to find a way to figure it over it. Like, everything in there is saying, but there's no Hollywood ending. Like, yes, Anna's like, yes, I want to travel, but it's more than likely not going to happen because I'm not a fucking adult. I'm a high school student. Yeah. And then John's like, I want to tell her how I feel, but in reality, I'm just going through puberty right now, so I'm probably not, and we're going to grow apart because we get older. Like, it's weird. Like, it's those hidden undertones in the songs. That's what I mean.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, but like it's just these weird things, and like the lesbian's like, I'm never gonna fit in because I'm a lesbian, and this is, even though it's 2019 or what is it, 2018 when this came out. Even though it's 2017, people are still ignorant and don't accept me, even my parents. Like it's those kind of things that are hidden under there. Like, but it's really good. Because you have those, but it's in an uplifting tone, so it's like it conflicts with it. So you're like, yay! And so after all the zombie outbreak happens, they get together with all the one group of friends gets together, and they're like just like figuring everything out. They figure out there's no Wi-Fi, but there's only certain ways you can connect to the internet and stuff. And one of them's like, Justin Bieber's a zombie. So, like, they're figuring out all the rich, famous people that are zombies and stuff. Oh, my God, that's funny. It's really great. And then there's literally an entire website and hashtag in this movie called #EvacSelfie. And they're like, this is how we're going to figure everything out. And there's literally people taking selfies with of themselves, either killing zombies or getting onto planes or getting in the military trucks to evac and stuff like that. And they're like... the government's coming, the military's coming. Like, that's what they keep hearing. And then they wake up the next morning and they look out the window and fucking the whole entire military is zombies. Like, everyone is zombies. They're like, fuck.
Like, just like, hi, my name's Anna. Thanks for coming back to the live stream. Today we're going to be killing some zombies.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the zombie kills in this movie are great. They get really creative. And so when they're in the bowling alley, they kill a zombie by the lesbian girl, who's my favorite, kills the zombie by rolling a strike on it, and it trips the zombie in the bowling lane, and the thing comes down and decapitates its head, and it goes through the ball return.
I feel like they did that same thing in Zombieland. Or am I just wrong?
No, they were at a...
did they do a bowling
carnival? No, they were at a carnival in Zombieland. There was no bowling.
God. I don't
know. Maybe there might have been. I don't know, but that happens.
And she's like, sorry.
But it's funny because she kills him and she starts dancing and celebrating like she got a strike, and like it's cool because like she gets the most zombie kills. I think I'm fairly certain throughout the whole movie, and just her character arc is really good, and I love her. But oh my god, I forgot where they. Okay, so. When they're in the bowling alley, there's this inflatable pool, so it also shows it has the protagonist be pretty smart. So there's an inflatable pool, kiddie pool.
Yeah.
And they're like, how are we going to walk around with all those zombies out there? Well, they put the inflatable kiddie pool around them, and they just crouch walk. Like, they walk, and then when they see zombies, they, like, sit down. And, like, so the zombies can't get them, or they don't know about it. So, like, they cover their legs and everything, and they wait for them to walk away. And then they get up and walk. And they do that a couple times until all these old lady zombies, like a swarm of old people, come up. And this is one of the funniest parts. And so they're sitting down, and one of the old lady zombies decides to sit on it because they're old. Get it? Old ladies sit on everything. So they sits on it. And like one of the characters is looking, and she's like, there's an old lady zombie sitting on me, isn't there? And they're like, yeah. And she just goes... She just looks like she's about to go. She goes, is she peeing? And they're like, she's peeing. She's like, it's like warm plastic right there. Like, at least there's plastic. Like, separating it. And then they also do a really good satire of the bullies, including the douchebag boyfriend, because they come out, and of course, they're the jocks. So they're like, they come out and they're just fucking wail on all these old people zombies, and they kill all the old people zombies. And so the bullies are really good satire because they're like, their entire song is, you're being bitches and hiding, we're killing zombies. So like, they're like, this has been so great because my job is to kill zombies now. I get to be an asshole. This is great. I love the apocalypse. My time has come. And Anna even like stands and goes, of course you're looters. Of course you looted. Like, she looks at the group and all the bullies have like grocery carts full of loot. And they're like, of course. So like, it's just really good with that. And yeah, and so like, there's like really good funny moments in there and like smart moments there. Like, that whole bully song is actually really great and super cool. But one thing that I noticed with this movie that it does really well is it'll have a really funny moment and the heartfelt moments that make you really feel good, but then all of a sudden shit hits the fan the next second. Like, there's this really funny scene where someone's rummaging through a drawer and she's pulling out like stuff and she's like, oh, I like vodka, great. Oh, look, stuff I need. And she finds car keys. Oh, great, I'm going to take car keys. But she finds a vibrator, and she's like, ah! And she turns it on, and it hits the ground, and it alerts all the zombies, and it causes other people to die because she got too curious. And it caused a funny scene, but then it caused a really tragic scene afterwards. So it does a really good job of doing that.
Of the back and forth.
Yeah, of the back and forth.
Balancing it all.
Yeah,
nice.
And it also, even like the people that, like the small characters, they have a really good character arc and a story arc within the movie. So, like, there's one small character his whole entire thing is trying to find his girlfriend. And they end up, when they finally find each other, like, events happen, they both get turned into zombies. And there's this really fucking heartfelt moment at the end where they're walking towards each other as zombies. And they still, like, brush hands, and it looks like they still hold hands for a second. And then it stops because they're zombies. They're not the same people that they used to be. And it just crushes you like that. So yeah,
so it's a good musical.
It's a great musical, and I will say with this movie too, like, it's one of the few, like, and again, in a 90-minute setting, it does a really good job of wrapping everybody's stories up and character arcs, and like, and making you feel for these characters, and the songs are great, and like I said before, like the they're like really uplifting songs, but then there's terrible meanings hidden undertones in the lyrics or in the shit that's going on behind them. And like and also like it has the douchebag teacher who turns out to be the ultimate villain because like of some sad complex that's like, dude, just wank one out and you'll be fine. Like, loosen up a little bit. So, and this movie also does a really good job. So, because I know one of your big things about musicals is all the singing. And it's like,
I'm soulless.
This movie does a really good job of balancing dialogue and singing. So it's not like a song every 2 seconds. Like one song ends in another song, and that song ends in another song with 2 seconds. No, it does a really good job of spacing out when it needs to have dialogue and then the song. Or when it needs to be quiet and intense and scary, like a horror movie, before something happens and, like, the action scenes aren't all musical dance-based. They're actual, like, fucking wailing on each other and wailing on zombies, It's like, it does a good job of, like, adding the realism to it, too. So
I got you.
Yeah, and then, again, and they make you feel for these characters. Like, there were a couple times I was just like, oh, no, not, why? And then there's really big irony in the ending. It's not a spoiler, just because it
either is or is not a spoiler.
I'm trying to decide. I'm going to say it's a spoiler, so I'm going to do a quick.
Let me get the timer.
30-second spoiler.
Give me a second.
Yep, we're going to go. Hold on.
Just wait. I'm almost there. I can't handle this. It's too much pressure for me.
30 seconds.
Oh my god.
30 seconds. So in 30 seconds, in 3, 2, 1,
go.
So at the end, it kind of goes back to, it relates to the beginning of the song, of the movie. So the very first song is called There's No Such Thing as a Hollywood Ending, but they end up getting the Hollywood ending with the lesbian drives up at the last second to save Anna and the douchebag boyfriend who they make up because you find out she actually just wanted him to care about her, and he's like, oh, I love you then. I'm like, great. But then they drive off into the sunset like a Hollywood ending, but they all got super depressed right before it.
Aww.
So it related to the whole hidden undertone of the first one of the song.
End of spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, end of spoilers. No such thing as a Hollywood ending. They had some irony there and everything. Like, it's good. It's really good. So I highly recommend this movie. You can. I watched it for free on Hulu. You can also get it.
You can get it on Vudu for $9.99. Also for the same price on Google Play, YouTube, or Amazon Prime if you want to buy it. But if you have an Amazon Prime account, it should also be there for free. Yep. I think it also comes with a Shudder account too, but I'm not positive on that one. But I do know all the other ones for sure.
Yeah, but this was definitely like a hidden gem because I remember seeing some trailers for it, like a trailer or two for it, and then it just disappeared. But it's a really good movie, fantastic movie, and I'm really sad, like especially when people talk about like musical horror movies, they always say Repo the Genetic Opera, and like since we started this podcast, I've watched 2 musical horrors that no one talks about that are severely underrated. Anna and the Apocalypse and The Lure.
The Lure.
The Lure. So, some quick fun trivia. The film closes with a dedication to Ryan McHenry. McHenry, who sadly passed away in 2015, wrote and directed the short film Zombie Musical, which came out in 2011, which this film was adapted from. That's cool. One of the posts seen in the hashtag evac selfie bit was from Ash Campbell, a mashup of Ash Williams / Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead franchise. Oh, they have, a fun fact, they have an Easter egg for Umbrella, so Resident Evil Easter egg. So when they finally sit down and watch the media about talking about the zombie apocalypse and everything, the lesbian girl, I'm sorry I keep saying that, I forgot her name, and I'm terrible with the names of people and stuff. Just know she's a badass. She's my favorite character in the entire film.
It's okay, we're bad with names.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names, but
Steph,
god damn, because her being a lesbian has nothing to do with
we know, it's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
We get it.
But yeah, sorry. Anyways, so she's like watching it and she goes, it says it was all caused by some big pharma company. Yeah.
Nice.
Like the zombie apocalypse was caused by a big pharma.
I'll throw one last one in for you. During the scene when Lisa sings her song at the school Christmas concert, the man seen playing the keyboard is Tommy Riley, who co-wrote the music for the film.
Oh, speaking of that song, that goes into all their characters for this song. They're complete satires of what they are in musicals. So that girl singing, she's supposed to be the rich, hot girl. And she's super sexualized. The song she sings in there is extremely sexual.
Yeah.
And her dad's sitting there going, "Oh God, come on!" Like all the dads in the audience are like going, "Oh God!" And the grandma of her boyfriend, she's sitting there watching. She's like, she's clapping and stuff. And then they do a really good twist on the zombie lore in this, where if you die naturally in this zombie universe, you don't turn into a zombie. Yeah, the grandma dies from a heart attack, and she never turns. Like you have to die
via infection.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, check out Book of Monsters. Check out End of the Apocalypse today. Other things that you should check out is that we still have very limited quantities left of our Aethers shirt. That is the one behind us right now. It's the Red Siren. Hurry! We are really running out of sizes. Get on it. With that being said as well, shout out to everyone who helps make this show possible. Big shout out to you patrons. Thank you, all of you patrons. You're amazing. Thank you so much to every single and last one of you. Thank you to our music producer and editor, Big Boot Studio. He's fantastic as well. Thank you to Jonah. Thank you to all our interns, Maya and Haley as well. Thanks to everybody tuning in. If you want to keep up with everything that we're doing, please like us and follow us on Facebook at punkrockhorrorpodcast or on our Twitter at officialprhp or
Instagram, punkrockhorror, hashtag PRHP podcast.
You can also follow me there at The Undead Matt. Check out our website, www.punkrockhorrorpodcast.com. And if you want to consider supporting the show, please consider going over to our Patreon, patreon.com/punkrockhorrorpodcast, where you will get exclusive discounts on all merch that is exclusive to you to use for all merch sales. That includes our Ether Oaths merch, absolutely. Also, you get a mystery box. If you are $8 tier, you will get an $8 mystery box where you get a horror movie and thank you letter from us with a bunch of other knickknacks with it. That said, thank you again, Ghouls, Gals, Creeps, and Mutants, for continuing to support us and continue to believe in us and believe in what we do and continuing to tune in, share us. It means the world to us. As we make the small mistakes, we take them absolutely serious. But as we make big strides and accomplishments, we know that we were only able to do it due to your love and support. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will talk about horror with you next time.
Bye.
Bye.